Hey guys, Matthew here once again, giving you a bit of a follow-up video on the Poet's Pen Quad Fizz spell Scion with Purifying Flame, Bladefall, Glacial Cascade, and Wave of Conviction. And it did end up taking on old content, did plenty of Deathless Conquerors and Cirrus a couple times. Haven't done all the content like Uber Elder and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it should be good for that. And overall, it's pretty good if you can, like, understand what the fuck's going on, because it is a bit of a visual nightmare in some of these boss fights and situations, and it can get you in a little bit of trouble, like you'll see in the Cirrus kill at the end of the video, where I am just not too sure how often I want to attack, because you kind of lose all visual cues about what he's doing when you do so. And as well as that, it is pretty heavy on your computer for frames in certain situations. Whenever you're doing Delve, for example, whenever you're doing legions with lots of monsters, and if the map mods are particularly bad towards resists and stuff, you shit out so many spells, and it's so bad for your frames that it's actually borderline not worth, but it's pretty hilarious and still kind of worth either way. If you've never played something like this before, it's definitely a novelty to get a lot of spells out and have some just very different gameplay to pretty much any other traditional stuff out there, but it does end up feeling pretty similar on your frames to the Cast on Crit Volatile Dead, Detonate Dead build I did at the end of the last league, but this one's probably a little less effective, I'd say, but it's definitely still a use for Poet's Pens if you want to jump in and give some Poet Pen stuff a try, and a decent use for Scion, though I'm not sure Scion's ever going to be the best choice in this type of a build, or these types of builds. An Inquisitor, a Pathfinder, an Assassin, an Elementalist, all of that could be competitive as well, quite possibly Inquisitor being the best, so you don't actually have to worry about any sort of penetrations and good damage scalings, but it was a strong enough build in the end that I'd say if you're looking at some Poet Pen action, you can copy this one, and getting the gear a bit fine-tuned might be somewhat of a challenge, because the Awakened Spell Cascade by itself is a good 7 exalts or so, and then everything else put together, probably another, I'd say, 10 exalts on top of that. So it is a little bit more than a zero budget, I'd say, but you can take it a lot higher, you can take it a lot lower, depending on what you can or need to do. And you can notice that I did end up getting about 6k life in the build since the video last time. I did a bit of a respec, there's a little bit of passive tree shenanigans going on, and I got rid of the Herald of Ash ring, so I could get a ring with some life gain, or spell life gain on hit. And it does help you sustain quite a bit to have that spell life gain on hit, so it's essentially replacing the leech for the build with just real good sustain, and I do recommend doing something like that as well if you're going to play this many spells with Poet's Pen. Aside from that, I got rid of the pure talent and respec a little bit out of the shadow area. So you can see that there's just a few little nodes moved around in the passive tree, but it's almost exactly the same as last time. I just decided we did need a bit more life in the build to take it into the higher tier maps. But that's pretty much it. I will leave you with a Cirrus Awakener level 8. Went pretty well for these runs. Still no sword yet. I'm going to work on getting one of those today, but we'll see what happens. I ideally want to find a sword and then make a build around it, but maybe I'll just have to buy one. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.
What's this? A real challenge? You've finally caught my attention. Die.
Oh my god. My prop rate go up or something? Because that felt so much worse frame-wise. Look at this chasm. This grand fucking canyon of frames. Dude, I walked under you.
The others found strength.
Notice me, senpai!
Reliance. So foolish.
Leon.
Silent.
Man, it is hard to do anything when we're attacking. The best way for me to play this is to basically do nothing until I get the perfect opportunity to attack him, and then just go in with a series of flasks and phase him one time. It's like doing lots of attacks and stuff just gets me fucking confused, and then I can't see what I'm actually doing. Good chance of dying that way.
Really interesting enough to warrant all this pain.
Beyond.
Die.
Like that was a decent example. Got a good DPS phase in. Have my top dicking. Yeah. Yeah, it's level 8.
My heart races. I am alive.
Just bide our time. Still biding my time. Now we go in. Almost lost track of him now. Sword! I mean, it could end up being something. The last pair of gloves we got was a 1 valve delete.
M'lady.
And deathless first try. Deathless second try. Vuln on hit, that's powerful. Deathless third try. Still good, maybe.